Ahoy, ahoy, welcome to a brand new edition of the Ramble on Reactions. Sitting next to me is handsome Dan Nye.
Sitting right over there is clever Eric Mahler.
Now, this feels like the third time we've done this today.
Review?
Yes.
Third or fourth.
Yeah. You could say it's our chapter 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, when I'm going to butcher the quote. If you want peace, prepare for war?
Yes.
Parabellum.
If you want to know peace, prepare for war.
No peace. Okay, got it. And then in Latin, it's parabellum.
Yep.
But it's two separate words. So if you try to Google it like I did,
You'll get a gun.
well, clearly.
Yeah. No, that's all it is. Parabellum comes up as a gun.
Lots of guns.
Guns.
So that's a fun throwback. We're going to talk John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. So
the most wickiest of the...
Most Wickian?
Yes.
Wickian?
Wickest.
I don't know. So I'm trying to think chronologically, do these movies all take place in like a week?
I think so.
I'm trying to think how close 2 happens after 1. Like, does it happen immediately after? Because 3 happens immediately after 2.
No, I think there's some time between 1 and 2.
1 and 2, a little bit of time. So, anyway.
But still, it's the continuing story of John Wick, the man who's out there committing headshots because...
The Baba Yaga.
The Baba Yaga, because someone killed his dog.
Yes, and now, so this one is, you start off, it's very hectic and very frenetic from, like, the word go.
Well, because, yeah, it's the hour before the bounty goes live on him from him being excommunicado.
Yes, which is a direct result of events in the second movie.
Yes.
Which, I wasn't the biggest fan of the second movie. Like, I like the first one, I love. It was so great. And then I felt like they overcorrected in the second one because it's like, what was so cool about the first one where it was like, boom, you're in the world. The world's already lived in. You're just watching as these events happen, so like you don't need to be spoon-fed everything. And then they go so far the other direction where it's like, oh, you have the high table, and you can't be mad about the high table because it's a secret world of assassins, and then all this stuff is and then he's gonna go and kill all these people in the tombs, and it's like, and then he's gonna go into a fun house and kill people, and then it's gonna be this cool stuff on the back of the wall, and look at this animated wall and how cool it is, which they bring back in the third, but I'll get to that because I didn't really mind it in this one. But it was just also, in the second one, it was like, yeah, some of that stuff was cool in the first one, but what was so cool about the first one is it was like, it was clean, it was concise, they had a real strong sense of what they were doing. Like, the only thing I feel like the first one didn't absolutely nail was the final fight. Like, you're having an old mobster fight John Wick, I'm kind of like, I guess he's been kind of beat up, but that was literally the only thing. And then I felt they went way too far in 2, 3. What a good balance. Like, I felt like the frenetic energy was good, where it's like literally they're counting down to the inciting incident of him being excommunicado. And then, like, from there, you get to see a little bit of the unfolding of, like, pretty much everyone's coming after him and what he has to do to get out of that. You get Halle Berry introduced. You get Bronn from Game of Thrones introduced. And there's no shortage of action. These are some of the most beautiful action sequences you'll ever see put to film.
I love the stable fight.
Yeah, stable fight's a lot of fun. And even the final fight, like, just to touch on that briefly, just because it's not spoilers, but like when he fights the 2 guys at once, and like I love everything about that fight, especially because they start and then they stop and the guys are like, it's a pleasure to fight you, Mr. Wick.
Right, I love how like the last 3 people he fight are all his biggest fans, more or less. They're fanboying while fighting him.
Yes.
I thought that was clever. And
it's you wonder how much abuse one man can take by the end of this movie.
Well, also I like it because before everyone's been afraid of John Wick. These people love John Wick.
Yes.
And they want to kill him.
Yes. They know it's their job. I think that's too why it strikes the balance between 1 and 2 for me, because 1, it was like he was a myth, he was a legend. They even talk about it in the movie where it's like the bodies he put in the ground built the foundation of that mob syndicate that he's had worked for. And then like 2, I can't see, that's the thing, is like I can't even really remember the plot of 2. Like like somebody from the high table calls him and he has to go kill somebody else, and I'm kind of like, cool. And I mean, like, it seemed much less motivated. Like,
well, it's like one of the problems I actually had with this one, where they keep introducing things that you don't need to introduce. Like the second one is the marker, where you put your thumb in the blood marker, and then this one they have that. Plus, they have another thing where it's like, "This is my ticket out of here." Kind of thing.
Which that was Angelica Houston, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, double checking.
I mean, this franchise is great for getting like these great actors to come in just to be in this weird
one-off, something in the past.
Yeah,
but it was so it was so much more for a rewarding experience than seeing 2, where it was like overcorrected. It felt like they came back to it and like found out where this franchise really shined through, and it was a very, very pleasant movie going experience. It was over the top. I think the highlight of 2 for me was the silencer fight in the subway, which was probably the coolest thing. But this one, like, there were so many moments, like when they're randomly in a warehouse that's just full of bladed weapons and they keep crashing into stuff.
The convenient, like, hey, everything I need right here.
I can only imagine.
Nice.
That's the other thing too, is that the very first fight you see in this movie in the library.
Oh, yeah, with the basketball player.
Was he a basketball player?
He is a basketball player.
Oh, okay, because he was the big guy from Big Fish.
Yeah, that was a different guy.
You sure? They look exactly the same.
Well, they're both from Yugoslavia.
Okay.
But no, I know that for a fact because the guy who's fighting John Wick in the library was with the Detroit Pistons for 2 seasons.
Oh, there you go.
So that's how I know.
Because I saw that fight, and there were a couple times in this movie, one at the end of that fight, where I was like, how he killed that guy. I was like, it sent chills down my spine.
There's a lot of those in this one.
There's a lot of them. But a lot of them is like, it's not like it might be CGI or there might be some digital sewing. That one looked like practical, which is why I was like...
It's true, that guy is no longer alive. He no longer plays in the NBA.
Keanu Reeves killed him.
He's with the 76ers. He's fine.
Oh, he's fine. But
Keanu Reeves couldn't kill anyone.
Oh, well, I think he could.
But he also has the power to bring him back.
Of course he does. It's Keanu Reeves.
That's right.
I don't even know if there's more that I like. And I don't really have negatives to this movie. Like, go ahead.
I do, because how you felt about the second one's how I thought about this one.
Yeah.
When they're just like, oh, we had the high table, well, we have the man who's above the high table, and then we have a guy who's above that guy. No, I will give them credit. I did like how they introduced the role of the adjudicator in this.
Oh, yeah. She was cool.
She was cool, and I like how her whole thing's like, no, I'm just here to make sure everything is brought within the rules. That is my purpose.
I really thought she was going to fight somebody.
I thought so too, but I love how they just teased that and never actually gave it to us.
And I really liked her role. I really
liked her. But for me, I was like, kind of like with 2, they keep opening up more of the world to try to make it more complicated instead of keeping it simple, stupids. They did that again with this one.
See, I felt less like there was more lore, but they brought it back to where I wanted it to be, which was centering around the Continental, which was you finally get some action there that you're getting all your favorite characters. You're getting Winston, you're getting the concierge, and you're finally getting them to be like more main characters, because that's kind of what you wanted, where it's like, you'd go so far as to say they were friends, and like it gets brought up, and then you're questioning allegiances, which leads directly into the end events of the movie, which are, in my opinion, still kind of muddled and kind of up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
So there's going to be a 4th one. It's already been announced.
I got the text message.
That was going to be a 4th one?
Oh, yeah. Did you sign up for the text alerts for John Wick?
God, I did.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just screen capped it to me and I said it. Regardless.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. This is one of my favorite franchises. I hope it doesn't get to like Fast and Furious levels to where it's just like...
John Wick in space.
Yeah, like, where do they go next? It's just going to be like...
They bring in The Rock.
But speaking of 3 of their biggest fans, the guy who plays Zero, you wanted to talk about him briefly.
Yeah, no, I thought he was phenomenal. I love his character, and again, I love that whole creepy aspect of he loves John Wick. He's such an admirer of him. Like, there's that scene where they're in the Continental and he keeps sitting right next to him.
It's so funny. It's so awkward because he's just like, he just moves around, keeps his dog, like, just,
Slight spoiler, dog still survives.
Yeah, I think if they did that again, there'd be riots in the streets, so... I think that's enough rambling about this. What do you grade it?
I give it a solid B+.
See, I would give it an A-. Like, I don't know if we'll see if there's room for improvement, but I enjoyed this one maybe more than the first. So, because you always have to rank things. So, it's
First is still the best.
It's 1 and 3 for me, and then 2's clearly at the bottom. So, Clever Eric Mahler right over there.
Handsome Dan over there.
Thank you for watching this far. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all those fun things, and we will talk to you next time. Ramble on.
Bye-bye.